Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. So, I feel like that I've calmed down far enough. I just took a little break. So now, let me go ahead and start mentioning some more subjects here on HJN. But you know what? I will have some other stuff that I pretty much dread a lot. But they won't be for a little while now, because now I'm going to be talking about Transformers. Yes, that same old franchise itself that, according to some people, happened to rip off a certain Japanese series known as the GoBots. But Transformers, of course, was the big successor when it came to robots in disguise. Now, of course, why I'm going to talk about it is that, well, just like with a few other things out there in my life, Transformers was a big thing out there, even to this day. We do get a lot of Transformers related content here and there, mostly the Cyberverse series, but why don't I go ahead and break it down, because it is in fact one of my favorite things out there to date. Transformers all started summer of 1984 with the cartoon series. Dan Gilvezan's book, known as Bumblebee and Me, happens to talk a lot about the events that happened beforehand, especially given the fact that Dan Gilvezan, before Transformers, had voiced Spider-Man on Saturday mornings in The Amazing Spider-Man from 1981, 3 years prior to the Transformers. But when the Transformers came out for the first time, it was a big hit. And many people were just so stoked to see robots on screen, battling each other out. Autobots and Decepticons, good and evil. Of course, the big thing about it is that I might as well go ahead and start mentioning a little controversy and conspiracy surrounding the franchise itself, especially from the last decade. If you're not familiar with the Michael Bay verse of the Transformers franchise itself, which is a continuity that spans for a long time, even to this very day, we do have the Bayverse continuity on us, but the sad truth is that Michael Bay hasn't done a lot for the Transformers Bayverse itself. It all started in 2007 with Michael Bay's Transformers. One of the first ever times that the Transformers has been put into a feature film, and the first to capitalize the Transformers franchise, but being brought in real life. It was the first time that live action had attributed to the Transformers franchise, even though there were others out there who tried to do it first. But Michael Bay had done way better than any of them combined, by creating actual sized Transformers out there. Ginormous CGI scale models out there that of course would battle each other out in a realistic environment. And the fact that Optimus Prime transforms into a 94 Peterbilt 379, that's just amazing. Blue and red flames certainly fit the Bayverse Prime at the time. But of course, it didn't stop in 2007, because it continued to get better and better as time went on, especially with other films that would come by soon. Revenge of the Fallen in 2009, and 2011 with Dark of the Moon. And then eventually, in 2014, the continuity itself would become a big, big hit out there. Despite the fact that it would go through a kind of a reboot sort of thing out there, Transformers Age of Extinction is still a pretty darn good film. Probably a really darn good film for all of 2014, even though I've seen a lot in the year 2014. Age of Extinction was a pretty big deal for me. I mean, especially because it was a new thing going on. There would be a new cast, a new plot line going around, and Optimus Prime would have to fight to keep all Autobots and Decepticons alive. But of course, having to fight against humans for the first time, that was something else that I was rather confused on at the time. But now I can understand the fact that humanity had betrayed the Transformers race to try and settle on with their own sort of creativity. But you know what? That I can definitely accept. Because we do need these franchises to change every now and then. And so having a new film, a fourth film in the Bayverse, with a new look on it and a new perspective, in general, that was a pretty big deal for me. But of course, it wouldn't stop there. There would be a fifth film in the series, The Last Night, in 2017. That was just one Transformers film that I had not seen in theaters. And given to the fact that I haven't seen any of the others in theaters, other than Age of Extinction, that was one thing that I missed. But thanks to the internet, I was able to catch a glimpse on what it was really like. And thanks to, well, a lot of this digital access that I can get nowadays, The Last Night was certainly another big thing out there that I also looked into. But I just don't really seem to get it that much. But then, we got ourselves a prequel called Bumblebee. That was the latest addition to the Transformers Bayverse. And since then, there actually was news circumnavigating around that there would be a seventh. But that ended up getting canceled by Paramount because of a lot of other projects that would set in pace throughout the remainder of 2019. But you know what? No matter what happens, we are going to get ourselves a seventh Transformers film in the Bayverse. Whether it have to be a rewrite or something, I would not care at all what it would be about. I could bet you right now, it would be amazing for what it really is. But aside from all that, considering everything else that we've been through in the Transformers franchise, there's certainly a lot of other things going on around. The television shows that went around, including G1, G2, Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Armada, Energon, Cybertron, Prime, Robots in Disguise 2015 edition, which I call Transformers Leadership because, well, we already had a Robots in Disguise in 2001, and lately, we've got ourselves Cyberverse, which is kind of like a crossover between multiple different continuities because it does star characters from these other continuities in the Transformers franchise. Like Cheetor, for example, who originally came in the Beast Wars series, as well as a few others. There was also Windblade, which the first time I saw Windblade was in Leadership back in around 2016. But you know what? Aside from all that, Transformers itself, the franchise itself, was awesome. It was awesome back then. It got even better as time went on because of the technological advancements and the like that people were experimenting on. Some tried, some failed, but in the end, we actually saw a lot of good things about them as time went on. And the internet has really definitely helped us keep everything alive within the franchise itself, no matter the continuity or the series that they all come from. That's pretty much all I got left to say here. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.